Welcome back, everybody. Wild Willy here for episode 18, should be 18, of our OP and early DLC walkthrough. So we've just run through, last episode we beat Radon, and we ran through Nightreign, came through that doorway down the stairs to grab the Grace here, and we grabbed the Mimic tier, which is going to be our summons. To replace our Fanged Imps. So if we go into our inventory and we go down here, we can see that we are sitting on a Ghost Glove. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have an 8 and a 9. Okay, so that means we are missing our 6 and our 7 to fully upgrade our Mimic, which we can get in our next area, or after our next area, but soon. So we'll be able to level our Mimic to +5. So we're gonna hop back over to Round Table Hold, and we're gonna see how far we can get with the runes that I've got. And remember, you know, if you need to, you can always go back to Mogwin's Palace and do the bird farm. I might have to do that myself, actually.
So you here for spirit?
Spirit tuning, we want to go over here, and then we want to go to here. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have enough. We don't have a 6. So we don't have a 6, and I don't have enough runes for a 6. Okay, so now we have a +5 Mimic tier, which is going to have all of our gear. And I'm still hanging on to the +6 Bloodhound's Fang. Just in case any one of you was, like I said, unlucky enough to not be able to kill the Gaunskin Noble and get through Volcano Manor to pick that up just yet. There's another one that we can again pick up in the zone that we're about to travel to. So I want to go over here and thank you for your service. We're going to take the Fang Gains off, and we are going to find our Mimic tier. We're going to put it on. The Mimic tier requires HP. It's going to drain our HP instead of our mana when we summon. So now we have that. So we want to get our +10 upgrade and a +7 Somber for the rest of you. And we need our +6 and +7. So how are we going to do that? We are going to do that by doing part of Ronnie's quest line, which is going to take us over here to Caria Manor. Okay, and this is going to allow us to kind of test drive our Mimic a little bit. Okay, so you're definitely going to want to have Bloodflame Blade available. Then we're going to go inside here. You definitely want to have Kukris available. You can see up there we have some of the big handsies up on the wall. We want to chuck Kukris at them to get them to come down. So I'm going to go ahead and drink my flask because we're going to come up to another Grace before I got it. I didn't really need to do that, but it's not the end of the world to have some extra damage negation. There goes our HP for summoning our Mimic. And then we want to kind of move forward just a little bit here and put on our Bloodflame Blade. We're going to go ahead and two-hand. And then we want to start... Oops. All right, I took my Bloodflame Blade off. So I wanted to do was that, and chuck a Kukri to get the dude, them to come down. Our Mimic. These things are very weak to fire. If you hit them, they'll start doing stop, drop, and roll, and then you can just take them the rest of the way out. Beware, some little ones are going to see and come and get involved in the fight. And another big one, he's going to do his little flicky attack. I'm just going to get up, and if you don't equip your shield, the Mimic is going to be able to do Bloodflame Blade as well. So these things really are going to have no chance. I'm going to go ahead and heal up and move on. There's going to be another one up there we want to bring down. The chuck a Kukri. And then just run on over and give it a whack before it can even do anything, and you can kill it. Okay, next we're going to run through here. There are going to be some more little handsies. Maybe another one over here, one hanging on the up above the gate there. That just killed it. I am going to Bloodflame Blade again because there's a big one coming up. And I'm just going to two-hand. We're going to lose our Mimic going through here. If you want, you can just run. There's a big one and a couple of little ones. They don't drop any loot, especially. I'll just run to show you. If that thing hits you, it'll stun you in place, and then it'll come over and grab you. So you might need to throw in a little bit of a zigzag. They can't come in here, though. We're just going to come around here. A little piece of loot. Smithing Stone 4. And then we're going to hit the Grace. This next one, I don't know if they're called Glintstone Knights or whatever, but they're going to be some knights and foot soldiers that are going to spawn in. They're also going to be like little magic traps. So we're just going to run through. We're going to run straight to that thing around to the left and keep going. Yeah, let me just show you. So there they are spawning in. Another one spawning in. Let your stamina recover. We're going to start going across the bridge. We should hit a trap around here somewhere too. I think it's that thing there to the left. And again, just run past. Got another trap. Don't need to fight any of them. You can if you want to. They're not really worth anything. So we're just trying to get through the zone. So we're in here. Nobody's following. Go ahead and chuck on my lantern, because why not? And there's another Grace. So we just ran from Grace to Grace. You do want to touch this one. If you used anything, you want to go ahead and rest. Go ahead and do that. So when we go outside, there are going to be two wolves. There's one over there. We don't have to fight that one. We should be able to sneak over there and grab the golden seed and be fine. But that one, we're going to have to fight. So again, probably going to hit the pillar. It doesn't matter. It aggroed it anyway. Come on, big fella. So these guys are going to hop around like Red Wolf of Radagon. And you saw that was just me R1 spamming again. And it's dead, okay? They have the kind of same moveset as Red Wolf of Radagon. The Great Wolves, so we got our golden seed. We should be able to level up our flask again. We're going to come over here. No enemies over here. But as we proceed along, you're going to see there's a troll. And there are three glintstone sorcerers. So we are going to do this to avoid them. So there's a little gap here. So just a little hop up. And then we're going to hop across. And we're going to use this ladder. And this is going to bring us around to the side. And we're going to be able to bypass all of them. We got a couple of these wandering nobles. This one we can go ahead and take out. That's where we came from. Come around here up the stairs. Should be another one. Take him out. All right. So now there's the troll. And what we want to do is just walk around here. You don't even need to hop. Okay? And just hug the wall to the left. And we're going to be able to just bypass them. So we want to go up the stairway to the right. Oh, I did aggro somebody. So I'm going to heal up. And there's a page. And we just want to run for the page. And running heavy. And then beat him down real quick. He's got the crossbow that will fire at you repeatedly. And there's just one more little piece of loot that we can grab. Golden Rune 4. And you can see that's where we came from. The sorcerer's leash, he's going back down. We don't have to worry about him. So in here is our boss fight. So again, I'm not going to heal up because we're going to do it when we get in there. And we can summon our Mimic. It's a little bit risky because it's going to take my health. But let's just go on in. The boss isn't going to spawn until we get into the water area where the chairs are. So we can go ahead and pop our flask. Eat some crab. Buff up Blood Flame Blade. Flame grant me strength. Refill our flask. Two-hand our weapon. Switch to the healing flask. Go in, trigger Loretta, and then we can go ahead and hide behind the chair here and summon the Mimic. Back up and make sure I heal. Alright, let the Mimic spawn in, and once the Mimic draws aggro, then we can start getting involved in the fight. Loretta's going to hop around. She's going to do the Glint Blade Phalanx. Want to watch out for that. But again, I am R1 spamming. And the Mimic is R1 spamming, and she's dead, and that fight is pretty much that simple. Okay, you got Loretta's Great Bro, and Loretta's Slash, Ash of War. And we are going to rest on up. And you can see by the amount of runes that we got, 16,000. Like, this is a lower level area. You should be fine. We got that golden seed, so now we can level up our flask again. Get another flask charge. So let's see where we're at. So we are at +9, and we have 13 flasks. So there is one more sacred tier that we can get. We didn't get it. It would be involving going back over here. Where is it? Over here. And we would be running up, and we would be fighting the Eye of Mordor, the Frenzy Eye, and running through the Frenzy Village, and running up into the church to grab the Grace, and fighting Vike, the NPC. There's another sacred tier there. This is the working man's way of getting the Lord of Blood's flavor, where we have to get the handkerchief and soak it in blood, but we did the beginner-friendly way. We might go do that later. Let's see how everything is going, because this episode might be pretty quick. We are just kind of cruising through. So we're going to head out over here, kind of to the east. Oh, wrong way. Where am I going? I'm going that way. Want to go through the doorway. Heading for the wrong corner. So when we get outside, there's a dragon we need to fight, and then a handful of wolves. Three Sisters is talking about the 3 towers. You can see the dragon. We're going to fight this dragon. We're going to whack it a few times, and it's going to fly away. Fight it again later. So go ahead and pull out your Mimic. I'm not even going to buff up. We're just going to ride on over. Don't worry, the Mimic will teleport over to us. And we're going to ride on up and hit the dragon. And you don't need to fight it straight up, Lord. We're not trying to whack it in the head or anything. I'm just trying to aggro it, and then I'm going to just pump damage. And it's immediately going to get up and fly away anyway, so that's why I was saying nothing fancy to do there. We're going to wait for it to land. Way the hell over there. Jeez, you're making this difficult. Just run on in. Again, just R1 spam. Here comes the Mimic. Got knocked off Torrent. Gonna just go ahead and heal in case it lands on me, which it did. Alright, that should be enough. Nope. Still not enough to get it to fly away. I think we have to get it to half health. Where'd it go? It spawned back up the hill because it went out of its range. Jeez, this is like... I mean, we really just need to get it to below half health, and it should fly away. And it's gone. Alright, so there are a couple more wolves over here. There's like 3 of them. There's a one here. You should just one-shot them. And then 2 more over here. And your Mimic should still be with you. Here's the Mimic. Very unfair fight. And that's it. We're done with the Mimic. This is Ronnie's tower. Ronnie was disguised as Renna at the beginning of the game, giving us our spirit calling bell so we could use spirit summons. So we're going to rest at the Grace here. Rest, rest, rest. Come up here, use the elevator. We're going to go up and talk to Ronnie, then there's an NPC Celibus we have to run back down and talk to, just to advance the quest line, and then we should be able to come back up, and we should be done, and be able to fast travel back to Nightreign. So we're gonna talk to her. No particular reason. The only choice we have. Do we want to enter into her service? Yes. Serve Ronnie the Witch. Talk to her again. So she's gonna send us back to Nightreign. We've already been there. So now we gotta go talk to them. We need to go back down. I don't think we can fast travel, which is why I'm running. Because otherwise, you know, you just fast travel out of here, go back to Nightreign to the one side of Grace. I don't think it lets you do that until you talk to the NPCs. EG is here. We'll talk to him on the way back up. If you're pushing Blythe's quest line and you talk to him in the first underground region, he should be there. And then here's Celibus. Blah, blah, blah.
Since I asked, Ironman pay me should you, if it were up to me, but who am I? Ironman pay.
All right, so now he's repeating his dialogue. We're done with him. We can go back up and just talk to EG. Burn through his dialogue. He'll say something like, together for Lady Ronnie. Together for Lady Ronnie. All right, and he's repeating himself, so we're done there. Head back up. And if Blythe is there, you need to talk to him too. You got to talk to all 3 NPCs that are in her service, now that we're in her service too. Just going back upstairs and talking to her.
I shall soon, and it will be this doll still. I look.
Okay, and again.
And it will be. I have high look for.
All right, so she's repeating herself. So now we should be able to fast travel. We're gonna go back over here. We're gonna go to Nightreign, and we are gonna go to Night Sacred Ground. This is where we finished our last episode, where we were getting the Mimic. And remember, I was pointing out as we were going across that walkway up there over to go in there to grab the Mimic tier that we have all these Mimics here. So yeah, we have that to look forward to. So we are going to summon our Mimic, and I'm going to show you my brilliant foolproof strategy for dealing with this section and all these Mimics. And that strategy is this. We're going to hook on over here to the right hand side of the wall, and we're just going to run on through. And again, the loots, I've gotten it in other episodes. It's nothing important. If you fight your way up the middle, that last one will turn into like a giant troll. You have to fight him. And we're just coming here. And we're grabbing the Finger Slayer Blade. And there's our great Ghost Clubwork, which is our +10 upgrade. Now you can see that, you know, some of the Mimics are kind of moving around a little bit. We don't even care. We have this teleporter right here. And I think we just have to teleport out and be out of combat because we're still aggro to them. So this is the site of Grace where we entered the zone. And down there, directly below us, that's where we just came from. You can see the teleporter, and that's where we just ran up from, where we just started a second ago. That side of Grace, that's right over there. So we are done. We have the Finger Slayer Blade. We can go back, and we want to talk to Ronnie again. So we're going to hop on over here to Ronnie's Rise. We're going to go up and talk to her. She's going to thank us for our service. She's going to give us the inverted statue, so that we can access the, and that ball won't kill you. That'll just drop you down back to where Celibus was. He was right down there to the left. He's moved back to his own tower. Since we fast traveled out of here, the elevator didn't come back. So don't worry about it. Oh my God, it's like literally just drops you right on down, and you just have to run back up around. I've done that before too. So we're here. Talk to Ronnie again.
Not blood. Even in my... It is in thy my thanks soon.
So we get the carrying inverted statue, which will allow us to access the divine tower of Liurnia.
What I too...
All right, and now her dialogue is repeating itself. And so we are going to warp, and we are going to warp on back over to where we fought Loretta, because it's just faster. Because we're going to the tower that's right outside. Should have pulled it up on the map. Pull it up on the map for you. That's Ronnie's tower. We are heading right there. That's Rena's Rise. I don't know if that's her mom or her sister. I'm not the best person in terms of lore. But we're just going to go through there. And we're going to ride on up here. Ride through our mark. Rena's Rise. Climb on up. Behind you, let me get to the top. If you want to dress like Ronnie and be like a snow witch, that's more important. When I start doing my, let's just grab it. Roll through that stuff. After I do this series, after I finish this series, I'm going to work on a series getting shadow tree fragments, in the DLC to power you up there. So you'll be kind of more OP before fighting some of the early bosses there. And then I'm going to start doing Elden Ring Convergence mod. Because, you know, why do vanilla when you can have, you know, fancy Convergence mod. That got us the Snow Witch set, which, you know, the sets in the Convergence mod have lots of special properties, lots of fun. So anyway, teleporter, back to here, back to now. And this is going to take us to Ansel River, Maine. And we do not have the map here. This isn't worth going to get. You're not going to need it. There's really nothing to mark. We're going to come over here. The thing that's important to grab is miniature Ronnie. And grab up all this little looty stuff. You can get to this zone another way. That coffin, if there's another underground region, which we're going to go visit. In order to get our armor set for this run, and there's a coffin there. If you take that coffin, you pop out here, but you know, we kind of did it the easy way because there's a tricky fight that you have to go through to get to that. So this is where we're going to get our other Somber 7. There's going to be another Estelle, which is one of those things that, you know, hangs from the ceiling, shoots gravity sorcery at you. You can kind of see it off there in the distance, hanging right above the tip of my helmet. That's where we're headed. And then we're also going to get our Ghost Glovewort 6 and 7 here, okay? You can see some Clayman off in the distance. You're going to get your summon sign for your Mimic, but your Mimic will start fighting the Clayman, and we don't want that. We want the Mimic focused on the Falling Star, or the Estelle thingy. So you want to get over here behind this wall, and now you can pop out your Mimic. Those things are slow. They shouldn't really be able to follow us. Go ahead and buff up. These guys do like physical and magical damage to Clayman. We're getting and our Mimic is already out there. So shield, refill our flask, switch to healing. Our Mimic is waiting for us. Sorry, poor Mimic. And we're going to run right at this thing and beat it down. Jump up, and we missed. You might have to roll a few times to dodge these sorceries, and then we're just waiting for it to put its head down so we can hit it. And between you and the Mimic, there it is, there it goes. So now the Claymen are coming. You want to immediately turn your attention to them. They can mess you up. Mimic's got one, I've got this one. There's our Somber 7. So anybody who was not able to do, if for whatever reason you could not do Godskin Noble, now you have a Somber 7. So when we're done here, we are going to upgrade our Bloodhound's Fang to... we're going to upgrade our Bloodhound's Fang to +9 because we have all that stuff. Now we got a couple more coming. I'll go ahead and buff up because they're taking their time. And you see, like, this is why we want heavier armor, because these guys are messing me up. Mimic. No, dude, no. Don't fight this guy. We want to come over here. These other guys, we really don't need to mess with them. Alright, but anyway, you and the Mimic should be able to take this stuff out. We just got a Flask upgrade. Alright, and there's our Ghost 7. So now we're going to run through, and I'm just going to grab the next Site of Grace. There's another Ghost Glovelord we can get over here. Oh, don't want to die. Don't die, don't die, don't die. Running heavy. Take them out. Heal up. One more. Mimic's almost dead, but that doesn't matter. This is the only section that we need it for, because then we're gonna go down here. We got our Flask refilled. So again, there are gonna be some ants. There are gonna be a couple that we need to fight, and then we can just run. Okay, so we're gonna buff up. Two-hand. And our Mimic is gone. And they do not like fire. I think one of them spawned in behind us, so we want to take this one out. Oh, nope, we're good. Okay. So there's a chamber with a bunch of them in here. There's the other one. And again, we're just going to run. Show you worst case scenario what this looks like. You're going to hug the wall to the right. A couple of them might follow you. Doesn't matter. There's another Glovelord over there that you can come back and grab. I'll show you that in a second. Because we're just running down here to grab this Grace. So if you want to go through Noxtella, go down to the Lake of Rot. You don't have to come all the way through the zone. You can just travel to the Site of Grace again. And this is just, again, part of the walkthrough. Getting a lot of the map unlocked. And I'll show you just real quick how to get back there. There's a ladder over here. That was waterfall noise. Just wanted to make sure. There's another Nox sorceress down there riding an ant. Just wanted to make sure she wasn't coming for me. So anyway, this gets you back to where we just were. Come over here and grab this because it's right here. Why not? Okay, another Ghost Glovelord 6. And now we're going back to the round table. So at this point, you know, we might need to do a little bit of rune farming. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. Everybody's rune situation is going to be different. But when we meet back for the next episode, I want everybody to have gotten enough runes to get our Mimic to +9, or our Mimic to +10, and our Bloodhound's Fang to +9. Let's just see how far we can get with the blacksmith. I'll start with him.
Now, those eyes of a challenge, fine and well.
Strengthen. So now we have 2 Somber 7s if you've been following along. There's our 8, and there's our 9. We can go grab the 10 in our next episode. We'll go ahead and do that at some point before we proceed along. So we're done there. Do I have any runes left? I do. All right, so let's go see the Mimic. I'm not going to have enough after this. I'm going to need to do a little bit of farming. So we got 8 there, 9,200 there. So you're going to need about 22,000, I'm going to guess. So, you know, I'm going to go farm the bird a couple times, 2-3 times. I'm not going to pick up any levels. So we're going to stay at level 71. On the right hand side, you can see where our stats are. But let's wrap up this episode. Everybody get your stuff maxed up, and then we will meet for the next one.